Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Director's Garage Live Humpday Happy Hour Hangout Edition. Call it the 4-H Club. How you guys doing? What's happening on this amazing Friday, Saturday, Wednesday? What the hell's the day? I don't even know. Oh my God, I look dark as heck. Well, let's fix that. You know, you just never know. Got the Audeze, another Audeze day today. The Audeze LCD-XCs rocking here. These are for sale in the Director's Garage sale down below. I think I'm asking for $750 out of these. Paid $1,200 brand new for them. Ugh. Losing money left and right. That's what we do here. How you guys doing? Let me fix the video and then we'll get into life. Let's see. Let's do that. Let's see if this does anything. Anything attractive. Whoa! Wow. Man, oh man. Okay, so it's a Wednesday, so we are at the it's Thelonious Monk Day. Doing some Thelonious around the Director's Garage. I've been working on the next episode. It's not done yet. It's like I'm finishing the audio pass. I still got to do all the video for it. I'm running behind, but that's the way it goes around here sometimes. It just seems to, it's always washed that way where I'm trying to get stuff out and not happening. Let's fix this. Let's do this. Let's try and get some, boy, it's just not a lot of contrast happening. There we go. That's looking a little better. There. Let's see if that works. See how that's working for people at home. Hey, welcome everybody. I have no agenda today. I got nothing to report. There's nothing new out. There's nothing that grabbed my attention this week. It's just we're live and I haven't done an episode yet, so we got to hang out, man. I got to connect with you guys, find out what's going on in your worlds. My world has been mostly work. It's just been a work week. Lots of stories writing, a couple of interviews here and there, but nothing too major. Just kind of getting through, but trying to, when I'm not writing all of these scripts, I'm trying to work on the episode, get that out the door. But I haven't it's been like nothing. Shocked at there's been some concert news this week. Elton John got injured, fell down, or something, got hurt. And then, but there's not even breaking news. It's all just what it is. All right, I can turn this off. I'm happy with the way the color looks. I hope you guys are at home. I hope the color teenies are coming out well. What are you guys drinking today? I got a cheers. Cheers to everybody. Got the iced tea working today. Got a little bit of water. Got a little bit more water. The giant, swill jug of H2O. That's always working. I tell people it's vodka because, how would they know? Man, oh man. I mean, I haven't done hardly any listening. I did enough to, I shot the episode this week and I've been working on it, but it's been an hour or two here, an hour or two there, and I need a chunk of time to get these things cranked out and out the door. What's going on in your worlds? What's interesting you? I don't have. I did an IEM episode. That's what's coming up next. We got the big IEM episode. Got some new product we're going to show off from Noble, and then I've got some IEMs that have been sitting around here gathering dust, waiting for me to unbox them. We hit 5,000, as somebody pointed out last week. I'm thinking about a giveaway at some point. I think I got to do a little something to celebrate and share the love with you guys. I'll give away some of these IEMs that are hanging out. I also need to get some sales going. I got to move some product, but I haven't had enough time to really focus. I had one guy offer on my Susvara again. But he wanted me to cut the price down, and I'm like, I'm asking $4,000 for a really good condition Susvara with the original box, and a custom cable, plus 3 sets of ear pads, all 3 of which are brand new, brand new. So I'm like, I just spent $300-400 on ear pads for this thing. I'm not feeling like cutting the price. So he disappeared. He's like, well, won't you give me a discount? I'm like, no. like running a show here, trying to get into the next headphone for you guys, whatever it is, but I got to sell some product to get that moving on. I'll get into the chat in just a second, guys. I'm just letting some folks filter in, and I'm making adjustments and getting things ready. Yeah, but I really haven't seen anything new on the market, like, you know, since the Audeze news dropped last week. Not much going on. Like, I did a cursory search of all the major headphone manufacturers. There's nothing really new coming out. It's still the summer of Burl over at ZMF. If you want your Burl headphones, I can't help you on the price. I've got no deal with ZMF. They're aware of our show, but we don't have a discount code with them or anything. Audio 46 is, you know, they're all pushing the new Enlium. That seems to be the thing that everybody's talking about right now. That portable Enlium amp. It's about $3,000, $4,000, something like that, and it's a portable powerhouse. If you're interested, but yeah, that's the thing. That's what's most of it's going on. It's been quiet around here. So we're going to have to make up stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk, maybe we'll talk some barbecue. Maybe we'll talk some beer. Maybe we'll just talk about records and concerts and things like that. That's always kind of fun. I'm kind of been diving. I haven't had a lot of time to listen this week, though. That's the unfortunate part when I get busy like this. I can't just come down here at night and put the headphones on and surf through Tidal for anything that's interesting, because I got to cut the show. I got to get the next show out, and that's going slow. So, you know, it's just one of those average weeks, just very busy. You know, I hope, I see somebody, Florida. Oh, Florida. he had a little hurricane today. Small thing. Let's check out the chat real quick. Now we're getting some folks in. Always good to see you guys. Welcome. I like hanging with you guys. You all are welcome here. Everybody welcome at the Director's Garage. Just to hang out, say hello. Bring in your favorite beverage of choice. Alcohol preferred, but it doesn't have to be. You guys can do what you want. Howdy, Michael Gilrenard. Yeah, nice to see you, Gil. Cheers. Welcome back. Kevin Jacques. Hi, fellas. Anthony Berryman. Good evening, Michael. Very cool t-shirt. Yeah, the Thelonious. It's a Thelonious special, man. My favorite jazz pianist by far. There's some great ones out there. Fats Waller, another favorite, but Thelonious Thelonious's rhythm. His sense of rhythm is so different from everybody else, and that's what I love about Thelonious Monk. Nobody played like him. Nobody has ever played like him since. They can only hope to come close, or glean from him. But he had a different pattern of rhythm going on in his head than everybody else. Thank God. It made his playing so interesting and so unique. Nobody ever sounded like him before or since. But by far my favorite piano player. And I love, Art Tatum and just fabulous. Duke Ellington, phenomenal. I mean, unbelievable piano player. Some great pianists, jazz pianists out there. I just love them. But he's my favorite. He just, something about, there's an album called Live in San Francisco, and I think I featured it on the show once or twice. It's Thelonious on stage with a piano, at least for part of the album. I think the second part, he adds a quartet or something. But the first couple of songs is just Thelonious with his piano, and he's keeping rhythm with his foot, and you can hear his foot stomping, and you can hear him grunting. He hits a note like that. And he just is so into what he's doing, his art, and I love him to death. There's nothing like Thelonious Monk, man. Nothing like him. It's Live in San Francisco is the name of the album. Go check that one out if you guys are looking for something new to listen to, because it's special, and it's really well recorded too. That's the other thing. I have a DSD 64 version of it that's phenomenal. Perp Dolo, hey man, welcome to the show, Perp Dolo. I haven't seen you here before. Our ritual here is to salute, to raise a glass to everybody who comes in who's new. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Adnan Frozy, man, I haven't seen you in a bit. What's going on, Adnan? Finally home on time after a while. Watched last week's one later last week. So you're not just bikes, but also into cars. You're the man, Michael. I like everything, man. I have so many interests. I would have no problem being a billionaire because I have so many interests. It would be like a playground. You know what I mean? I love audio. I love sound. I love recording. I love video. I love motorcycles. I love bicycles, cars, classic cars, vintage cars. I'm into everything. I just everything, man. It's all fascinating to me. I love anything mechanical. I'm fascinated by mechanical things, and how somebody figured out how to make things work like a Victrola. And then you get into electronic stuff. I'm fascinated by electronics. I'm an amateur, very amateur electronic nerd. I did work on that Technics back there before I sent it in and had some pros really go through it. But that's one of the first things I did on this channel was a walkthrough of me servicing that. This is way back. This is like 3-4 years ago. If you go back to the early OG Director's Garage, before it was a Director's Garage, I did a thing where I was going through schematics and trying to figure out from the schematics how to adjust that deck and from the service manual. And I got it close. I got it sounding really good. And then I sent it in and they redid the guides and everything. It's just fabulous now. It's just unbelievable. It sounds so good. But yeah, Adnan, always glad to have you here, man. I always like having you around. You always add interesting content. So does Joel Johansson. He was in Southwest Florida, Hurricane Pass, sunny and windy. Well, at least you're at least you were out of the direct path. It sounds like if you were south, because it kind of came up, right? It came up the coast and kind of hit right at the little nook there in the corner up by, what was it? Tallahassee, I think it was, where it came ashore. Yeah, but my prayers to everybody out there who's going through it, because that thing's going to tear all the way through Georgia and wind up in North Carolina, South Carolina. It's going to be brutal for folks. And I wonder if it gets like out towards the ocean again, if it's going to start picking up more steam. Always a concern when it starts sucking up moisture from the ocean on the warm side of the country. Scary stuff, man. Hurricanes. We had a tropical storm go through here, and we thought it was nothing. You know, we got a lot of rain, and the new house where the new digs handled the rain pretty good. Had some gutters need a little help, so I had that done in the last week. Just shored up so that the next time we get a big rain, we're not going to have any gutter problems. And then in the middle of the night, all of a sudden the winds came through. Like there was very little wind. It was a lot of rain, but not much wind. And in the middle of the night, we got killed by wind. And I woke up in the morning and like a couple of tree branches broke. So I was like, got to go clean that up. And then had the guy come over with the chainsaw and kind of clean the branches off. But nothing struck the house, thankfully. Except my pride. Monarch 3 sales started yesterday. You try those yet? No, I have not. I would love to get the Monarch 3. It's $1,000, and I need another $1,000 IEM like I need a hole in the head. As much as I love, if somebody sends them to me, if Linsol takes pity on me and sends them my way, or Audio 46, happy to listen to those and give you my thoughts. I don't know if Audio 46 is carrying them or not. But I'd love to hear them. I was a fan of the Monarch 2. I got a chance to hear those. Never owned them or reviewed them, but I heard them, and they were very good. At the time, I thought that the Canera Nana 2.0 were a little better for my personal preference. But I think that these Monarch 3s, everybody's saying they're the bee's knees, and I got no reason to doubt that. I just love to hear them, but it's like to get them, I'm going to have to buy them. And the Director's Garage is a little tighter in the budget right now. Like I can't just throw $1,000 around like I used to. The fun days are over for a little while, guys. What we need, and let's talk economics here. What we really need is the interest rates to drop. The interest rates are sitting at about 7% on a jumbo loan right now. And we got a 5.5 loan on this. I need those interest rates to go back down into the 3s so I can refi, and that will free up capital at the director's garage. So call your congressman. Hello, Senator. We need the interest rates drop because my friend who has a headphone show needs to buy more headphones. You don't know how you guys are affecting our entertainment dollar right now with your Fed nonsense. Enlium flagship is only 1 watt. Yeah, I saw that. It was low, a little low on the thing. So, yeah, Kevin, I agree. I saw that it was a little low powered for Enlium because this sucker right back here is 26 watts. This is the Bakun, which is now it's Enlium. You know, Enlium now owns Bakun. Oh, you like that? You like the little pink going through the background there? Yeah, that's clever. That's your director hard at work on lighting. Pat yourself on the back a little bit, why don't you? But yeah, the Bakun back there is 26, I believe it's 26 watts a side. It's so powerful. And I got it just to drive the Susvara, which is still for sale. coming to a director's garage sale near you. Hipster Cow, who got his LCD4 last week. I've been enjoying the LCD4. He still prefers the carbons to them, but they are a fantastic headphone. Well, here's my take, Hipster Cow, and let's see if you agree. My feeling was that the carbon has supreme speed, but the LCD4 brings the bass in a way the carbon can't. Even, and I've got to do. Did I do that episode? I think I did. The Malner delivers great bass out of the carbon, and I really love that amp for that reason, and it's why the Blue Hawaii's still for sale too. That's great, but they didn't deliver the Blue Hawaii doesn't deliver the bass to the carbon the way that the Malner does, and I've kind of taken a little break from the electrostatic world, and I've been going back to planar magnetics and dynamic drivers for a little bit. I wanted to get, because I did like 2 or 3 straight months of nothing but electrostatic listening, and that's great. They're great and phenomenal and all the things, but I wanted, like kind of like a cleansing. What do they do? That palate cleanser they call it when you're doing wine tasting and stuff. You need a little palate cleanser in there every now and then so that you reset your taste. And I needed to get out of that world a little bit. And it's like you jump back. Here's 2 bass cannons. I can tell you, I've been going for bass a lot lately. But you go back into this Caldera world with the thunderous bass down low and, all the detail and all that. Now you're giving up the speed, the super speed, the hyper speed of the electrostatics, but not all that much. And you're getting all that thunderous bass down low. And I'm just like, I missed that. I missed that for a couple of months while I was going through my big electrostatic phase. So kind of fun, just different shades of stuff. All good. Let's turn this off. What's going on here? There we go. Better. More better. And I need to turn on the air conditioning a little bit. It's getting a little hot in here. It is 100 degrees outside today, so in a way, it sounds like it's brutal. It's been hot and humid both. Not Florida humid, but it's been humid and not good. Gil Renard said, have you seen the Monk documentary Straight No Chaser? No, I haven't. I'll put that on the list, though. I can get almost anything, so I'll check that out. I have not seen that documentary. I've seen many a video of Monk playing, and he's an imposing figure on piano. It's just spectacular. And then they highlighted him also in the Ken Burns jazz documentary. He was one of the featured performers in that, and that was cool to see. But Monk was like so extra special. Everything about that guy is just cool, and everything he did, everything he played was interesting. interesting and different. So appreciate it. And I've got a number of Monk albums. I've yet to unpack the records. This house, for whatever, better or for worse, came with a 2,000 bottle wine cellar. They just built it in, and like I didn't, it's hidden in the house. Like you don't even know it's there. And like then we were doing the tour in the house, and I'm like, what's this? There's a big, huge ass wine cellar right here. Like with refrigeration unit and everything. Like these guys were serious. I'm like, I like a good bottle of wine, but I'm like, I'm not like nuts like that. I don't need like all that stuff. So my plan down the road, we got to get serious about, getting on our feet in this house. And I've got taxes coming up. I got all kinds of expenses coming up. So I can't spend money like water, obviously, on the show too. But my plan is to pull 2 racks of wine out, and because first of all, I'll never own that much wine. I'm not that big of a drinker. Booze gives me headaches. It slows me down. It's not something that I like a glass of wine every now and then, but I'm not like crazy into it. So I'm going to pull some of the wine racks out, save them, because when we leave, I'll put the wine racks back in and reestablish the wine cellar, because not everybody's. But I'm going to put record shelving in, and that will be more than enough to hold my 3,000 plus records if I pull out a couple of the racks in the wine cellar. So I'm going to have a place for record and tape storage that's temperature controlled, humidity controlled. Very cool. Very good place to store records. So that's the plan long term, but I got to hire a handyman to do it, because it's like I'm just not that good with it. So I'm going to get that. I'm sorry, I just read something. I'll check on a second. But I'm going to. That's one of the things that's in the plan, is to pull out that, and then I can get all of my records, which are sitting in boxes, patiently awaiting me. I've got the turntable set up. It's ready to go. I just don't have the records at hand to play them. I have to go digging, and it's not fun. So I'm just like, for now, tapes are available. I can use all my audio tapes, all my reel-to-reels, and then I've got the title to stem me the rest of the way. I just can't do records yet, because I've got to have a way to access them. So yeah, Hipster Cow says, excited to take the LCD4 to CanJam SoCal. Try them out with all the top line amps there. Yeah, stop by the Woo exhibit too. Woo, try some of those tubes like the WA33, those kind of things, because that's an amp that'll just light those things up. I'm sure the Wells would be a good one. A good, seats, drink some of those. Drink from the Wells. Cheers, everybody. It's not vodka, I swear. But yeah, that's you definitely take that. Best part about CanJam is you get to try out all the shit. So I'm going to be there. I'm planning on being there. That's going to be. The only thing is I got a parental situation. I'm going to have to figure that out. I got to work out the dates yet and mark it off on my calendar. Alone in San Francisco. Yeah, sorry, that's the one. The album is the album cover. Well, I'll show it to you. Why not? Because we can. How do we do this? Let's go to Laptop of Death. And go. There we go. And now if I go to... Sorry, bring the mic over. If I go to Alone... Can't type. Can't type, boys. There it is. There it is. Let's go look for it, and we'll go to Images. There you go. That's the album. $22.99. Look at this. So good. Yeah, so this is it. And it's and like I said, it's just him playing, and it's like so good. All right, now I've messed up. My mic's all messed up. But yeah, check this out. $22.99. It can be yours. Use the Amazon link. Shameless. But yeah, that's Thelonious Monk, Alone in San Francisco. Fabulous album. One of my favorites of his. Fantastic. Joel's, yep, he's in Marco Island. Yeah. Ooh. You getting some flooding down there? Keep those amps off the floor. Oh, rough. JTB. Welcome, JTB, brother from another mother. Cheers, buddy. Just got a Geshelli A3 Pro. Good value. Price. What do they say? Price for performance. The hype is real. Best amp under 1K. I believe it. I've heard nothing but great things about Geshelli, and that's great. What are you pairing it with? Are you using that with the HiFiman? I assume you are. That would be a good match, good pairing, I would think. Hipster Cow says he agrees the bass on the LCD4 is supreme, but the mid-range issues kind of limit the range of music that it works well with. Intense rock EDM have never sounded better, but female vocals sound off. I'd buy that. I don't know. I like classic rock. I like new wave. I listen to a lot of new wave, a lot of punk. It works for me. I love having that rich, robust bottom end. The only thing I would say about the 4 is that it's a little slow in comparison to some other headphones that are available now. I mean, it's a couple years old, and the technology's better. The membranes are thinner. They move faster. They give you a little, they give you more detail on it. But overall tone, I love the overall tone and the shape of the LCD4. There's very few headphones that, give you that full range like that. Nice sound, decent sound stage. Heavy as hell, though. That's what I'll say. But they're still, right up there. And it's steel. For the price of those things, you could do far worse. Oh, you got the Caldera. That's right. JTB. We're Caldera. I'm telling you, man, that Caldera is the best headphone, I think, for overall headphone. Bang for the buck, everything, all things considered. The 4,000, just under $4,000, you pick up a beautiful ZMF masterpiece that's got the best shaped sound on the planet right now. I think it's just amazing headphone, the Caldera. So fast, so good. Hipster Cow says he picked up the Deconi fenestrated sheepskin pads. Hopefully that improves things. I think that's what's on here. I think that's when we did we took a poll or something. I think like a couple of live streams ago, and what's on here I think are the fenestrated, because it's got the little holes, sheepskin. But look how thick these things are on the back end. This is like, it's crazy. This is not autofocus. It doesn't focus. It's got to stay back here. But that's what happens when you get a prime lens, boys. You got to focus it manually. But the prime lens gives you the nice blur. Trade-offs. But these things, they're chunky. I mean, this is a good, I want to say it's about 1.5 inches thick up per side, maybe even 2 inches. No, it's about 1.5 inches, I would say. Amazing, like so thick and so comfortable. Really good, just heavy. Just gonna give yourself a neck workout every time you do it. Audio Fool, howdy. Like Mr. Hanky, howdy ho, everybody. That was a South Park reference. Audio Fool, CanJam SoCal, he'll be there too. Looking forward to it. Me too. Like, and I've said this on the show for like the last year. You've had to listen to me like a broken record. I was going to go to CanJam last year, and the Queen died, and I wound up being stuck in England for a couple weeks, and I was right over CanJam. So too bad they didn't do CanJam London last year when the Queen was passed, because I could have gone to CanJam London and doubled down on my money. But this year for sure I'm going to go, and I'm hoping that we get some good announcements. It would be nice if we're going. Usually CanJam, the SoCal and the New York, and then IEMs for Singapore. Those are like the three that they really tend to really do a you know, if there's going to be an announcement, it's going to be coming any day now from these manufacturers. If there's going to be a new HD from Sennheiser, or there's going to be, I fully expect HiFiman is long overdue to update the Susvara or do something else, unless they're just thinking, well, it's so good, we're not going to mess with it. But it could use a little extra bass, boys. Just saying. If HiFiman's going to do something, you know, this is about the time that they start releasing stuff. When they released the X9000 from Stax, it was like right in this pocket here, right in this August to September pocket. So it should be any, we should be getting some announcements here any day of the new product, of stuff that's new that's coming. And then who knows, with Audeze being bought, what is that? It could be a new gaming headphone. The new MM600. They're calling it the Maverick. I don't know. I'm making that up. But yeah, definitely Caldera JTB. Congrats, man. That's my. It's definitely. I'm holding off to do a big, huge side-by-side comparison between it and the Abyss, because I think those are the two headphones that I think are most competing for my favorite headphone in the world right now. Like, if I had to do a top 10 or top 5 or whatever, it would be between those two headphones. I think that's what I would expect. Now I'll go through and I'm going to do, when I do the next big one, I got to get a couple new, you know, a few more new headphones in here, I think. I was hoping for the Expanse, but now I'm going to go a different direction. I think I put those up. Those are in the Director's Garage sale down below. You can email me. Oh my God. Do I have it today? Hang on, guys. Hang on. I got something exciting. Stand by. Production value coming at you. I got to find it though. Damn it. I've been threatening this for so long. All right. Can I do it? Let's see. Okay. God, I haven't done this in a while. All right, let's see what it see what it does. Did this do it? What happened? Yes! Look at that, folks. directorsgarage@gmail.com. I finally got it. I finally did it. I got the email address up so that I can go live with the email address. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. This is what your subscription dollars buy you. You get custom. It's like PBS. Anyway, yeah, that's where you can email me, and we can talk about all this stuff. Stand back, boys. Special effects in progress. I called up Lucasfilm and said, guys, ILM, I need you guys to do a custom Chiron for me. Can you do a custom Chiron for me? God, you kill me. Kill me, guys. Kill me. It's so fun. And I can make it fade. I mean, it's the fade, guys. It's the fade, you know, and we can do a long fade. 500. Yeah, there we go. Now watch. It'll go really slow now. Oh, it's going. Nah! Stupid switcher tricks by your director, your resident idiot. Yeah, so I'm going to CanJam. That's the bottom line. I'm going to CanJam this year. That's where you guys are going to see me there. I'll have my Director's Garage T-shirt on. Make sure you guys come up and, you know, pull my hair, what's left of it. We should probably meet in the bar, because that would be like the most, given that we've done all these happy hours, you know, we should meet in a bar. So good. Arthur, where are we at? We were at Perpdola. Have you heard the shit Ragnarok? I want to buy one amp and be done. I have not. I've heard good things about the shit Ragnarok. I've not jumped into shit audio stuff at all, though, on this show. My biggest... Okay, I'm gonna get my shit models mixed up. Hang on. I want to make sure I'm talking right. All right, let me just, all right, here we go. You go to shit.com. Okay, so what I'm looking at is the decks, the ones okay, so the Ragnarok is the amp and the Yggdrasil is the DAC. Now my complaint about the Yggdrasil, because I was looking at that for a DAC at one point, and my complaint about it was back in the day, and I don't know if it's true anymore, it could not handle DSD. It did not do native DSD, and they didn't add that, to my knowledge, for a long time, if it's there at all. And less is more, more is less. Oh, gee. Okay, so... Oh, it doesn't say what it does, though. They still don't have the specs on it. So I don't know. My complaint was that it didn't do native DSD, and I'm like, I don't understand how you can do. And all respect to shit, they do great quality stuff for a very reasonable price. And now I got to find where's our stream at, so I can watch our chat. My complaint about the Yggdrasil, and you know, this is nothing to do with your question, I'm sorry, but it just got me thinking. How can you do like an endgame DAC that doesn't decode the best digital format, right? That didn't wash with me. Like, I'm like, you've got to be able to decode the, you know, the DSD files. Native stuff that's native DSD is next level, and like, if you can't decode DSD, I'm kind of out, you know. I'm like, there's nothing I can do here. The Ragnarok I haven't listened to, though. I've heard it at a show because it was paired with the LCD4. My very first time I heard an LCD4 was at the I think it was at the audio show, THE, which was the high end it stood for, audio show. It was before there was a CanJam in SoCal. And they sort of took the focus off of headphones once CanJam came to SoCal. But they had this headphone paired with the Yggdrasil, and it sounded great. It was, you know, the first time I had heard them, and I thought they were really good. At that point, I was just getting into I decided to go with the HiFiman route and the HE1000, which I really loved, the V2. Or the V1, I don't even remember. Might have been the V1, like before I even had the V2. No complaints about it. I just haven't heard one in so long, and that's a long in the tooth amp. So, you know, I would say check out other stuff for sure. I would, you know, with the Ferrum stack, if you're looking in that range, that $2,200–2,300 range, I would point you to look at the Ferrum stack, Ferrum or Hypsos combination, $3,000. Look at the Burson Audio Conductor 3GT. Look at that amp. Those are really good amps and they're newer. Like, and I'm not saying that makes the user so bad. I'm just saying that they're going to be the latest and greatest tech with all the things. So just make sure you listen around. You know, give yourself the opportunity to hear some of that other stuff before you buy in, if you're looking for that one and done kind of situation. The Ore is phenomenal. I had that in here for a long time. You will not go wrong with the Ferrum Ore. It can drive pretty much anything. The Ore is plenty powerful, and the Burson, I never had the 3GT, but I had a conductor in here for a long time, and it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. They do great stuff, and that's an Australian company, Burson. Late to the game, Arthur Haywood. Well, cheers you anyway, buddy. Cheers. Welcome. Hoping ZMF announces their $1,000 portable that Zach's been working on. I will know something, because they usually come, you know, somebody's going to release something in the next couple weeks that's going to be major, that's going to be like that one gotta go hear it kind of thing. I thought it might have been the Dan Clark stuff, but it's getting their electrostatic. What's the new electrostatic called from Dan Clark? Damn, my memory today is just fried. Dan Clark Audio. God, I'm such a... the Vos. Is that it? The Vos? Yes. The Vos, which is now selling for $2,500. That's the old one. That's the old one. Hang on. Carina. That's the new one. For $4,500. Electrostatic. The Carina came out. It was everybody got real high on it for a short while, and then they started doing comparisons, and they went, it's no X9000, SRX 9000, the stacks, and it's not as good as the consensus. Not to say it's not true. I always want to hear this stuff because I disagree with a lot of people. I've like gone one, you know, somebody says this is not so good, and then I listen to it and go, that's great. It's great for me. I use Sennheiser's HD-820 all the time. It's like everybody hated those, and I'm like, I think they're fantastic. Got a funky soundstage, but other than that, they're fantastic, and I like the funky soundstage. It makes things interesting to listen to. So I hope that Zach has an announcement, but everybody thought that the Carina might be the thing to hear, and now I'm hearing some not so much, you know. I don't know. Check them out, though. Pythagoras, nice to see you. Nice to see you, sir. Welcome in the afternoon. Just hanging out, talking the shit right now, talking the headphones, going through the chat. We got a little exchange going on here. Ken Workshop, Ken sent us some stuff. By the way, if you can do this again. If you have your viewer systems, we've been showing the last couple of weeks, we showed off some viewer systems. Nobody sent me anything this week. If you want to take a shot of like your amp and your headphone or some cool thing you want to show off, I promise nobody makes fun of anybody for a bad cable or for a bad connector or anything like that. We just look at it and we oogle at the cool stuff. Send your photos to directorsgarage@gmail.com. Same address you go if you want to buy anything in the Director's Garage sale. Just hit me up there. I answer those emails myself, and always good to hear from you folks. So yeah, that's the thing. Look, I use special effect twice at the show. You're getting a lot of value for your money here at the Director's Garage live. So lame. Guys, I'm the lamest dude in the world, but at least I have fun. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Anthony Behrman, he's talking about the official release he's anticipating will be at CanJam SoCal. I hope so. They usually bring something. There's always something cool there, like something awesome. So hopefully that would be, it was actually going to be late December, early January, hopefully. Oh, okay. Well, you know, you never know. You never know. Well, cheers, everybody. We're halfway through the week. That's the good news. In case you guys tuned in late, a couple things we were talking about early. The episode that's going to be the IEM episode, that episode is about half cut right now. I was hoping to have the thing out the door yesterday. I was hoping that Tuesday I would be the drop day on that, and nope. Work got in the way. Work, life, all of that got in the way. And I have to focus. As somebody who doesn't do this as my main job, I got to make sure that the work stuff is good so that we keep the house and keep the Director's Garage rolling along. I love what I do for a living. I would never. This would become less fun for me. Like our exchange here and all the stuff we do and the crazy fun we have. This would be a lot less fun for me if I had to do it for a living, if it had to support me in some way. Because there would be an act of sort of desperation involved or something. You know what I mean? Like I would feel like I've got to get the numbers up and I've got to do something like crazy to try and get viewers. Like this way, it's like it's my hobby. I get episodes out on my own timetable and I can make them. I get to make them as good as I want to make them, and when I feel like they're done, I release them. I don't feel any pressure. Subscriptions are doing well. We're back. Subscriptions have started rolling again. We got over that 5,000 number. I got to do a giveaway, I think. I've got some IEMs that have been just sort of rolling around here that I'll never sell because, they're in that $200 range, and it's like it's going to cost me more, to ship them and do all the it's like I'll just give them away. So I'm going to do a giveaway, I think, in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to tie myself into that because it's like I get so busy, and the new season's coming for us, even though everybody's on strike still. But Yeah, if I ever did this for a living, it would be another thing. So I have to do that day job, which I love what I do for a living. It's fascinating, and it's mentally challenging, and it's mentally rewarding, and I get to see it on TV every day. Everything I do, I get to actually see on TV. I don't know that I would give this job, the job that I have, up. It's like what I was meant to do, or it just completely like satisfies like all those little synapses you have in your brain, like dopamine release. Like it does that for me, and it pays the bills. And anytime you've got that situation, I've given career advice because I'm older now. Newsflash. I always tell people when they're asking, like, what should I do? Like, I'm thinking about a career change. What should I do? I say, what do you enjoy doing? Like, do something that you enjoy, you know? Because if you're doing something you love to do, and I also say this, do something that you would otherwise do for free. You know what I'm saying? Do something that you find hours and hours go by and you don't realize that the time has passed. And that is a little bit what happens with headphones with me. It's like, you know, I'll start talking about music and this show. Like, we'll get on tangents and I'll go, oh man, we've been on the air for 2 hours or something, you know, hour and a half. Like, whoa, I got to shut it down. But do something that you absolutely love to do, and don't worry about the money, because if you're passionate enough about it, the money's going to find you. But make sure you're pursuing things that you enjoy to do. I'll give you a personal story as it's getting serious in here. So it's like I should lower the lighting down, you know, get some more candles going. But my father, for 40 years, he got into a job that he thought would pay well. And it was not rewarding to him. He went to work every day hating his job. And it wasn't like a labor job. It was, he designed, if I've got one around here. Right here. See these things? These XLR cables? This thing? He was on the design team, the mechanical engineering team that designed these things. And the company that I think first came out with them was a company called Switchcraft out of Chicago. I'm from Chicago, boy. No surprise there. But he worked on XLR adapters and did the drafting of them. And he did those kinds of things, mechanical switches he worked on and he was a draftsman and what they call a mechanical engineer. It's a job that's pretty much gone now because of computers and 3D modeling. And, you know, they do it all on the computer now. But in the old days, you used to have, back when I was a boy, there were big, huge draft tables. There were these giant tables that were sort of like an artist's easel almost, but they were a little more flat, and you would have like really thin paper, and these guys who were miracle workers with pencils would come in and they would by hand draw up, using, you know, templates and things, draw up what it is they wanted to engineer and wanted to produce, you know, the next design of switch or a connector or whatever. And then they would take those plans, those they're kind of like little blueprints, and they would send them off, and then they would get a prototype made, and then from that they would do the production model, the production run. So he was the draftsman, and he would do drafting and draw up those things, and also design, you know, help with the design of them. And hated it. Just hated it. Like, loathed going to work every day. And he wound up quitting his job when he was in his late 40s, and he tried to retrain and get into something else. And it was just like he never enjoyed. And I'm like, I swore to myself when I was young, and I watched him so upset, like just agonize over having to go to work. Oh, I don't want to go to work. I gotta go to work. That I would never choose a job that felt like work to me. And I've never have. Everything I've done my entire life is something that I would do otherwise for free. My first job was editing. I was a professional video editor for like 20 plus years. From 1985 was my first editing gig through 2000 and probably 4-ish, I think, was when I kind of stopped editing as a daily profession. Still did many editing projects because I was good at it. But that whole shift from, I started on videotape, quad 2-inch tape and 1-inch tape and Betamax, Beta SP and 3/4 inch, and you know, figuring out all that stuff was electronics. There was a lot of technical stuff to that, and I ran these rooms with a controller with huge ass machines, and you'd get 4 or 5 of them in sync, and they'd have to be perfectly timed. It was so cool. It was such a cool job. And but it was, a lot of guys didn't like it because you had to sit there in a chair for a long time, and you were constantly trying to solve problems and come up with ideas and things that you could do. And it wasn't easy. There's nothing easy about it. Everything was complicated. To think, you know, had to seriously put thought into it before you did something, because you could really mess yourself up. Anyway, I did that for 20 years, and then I started directing. Like I did something that sold, and they said, "Do you want to be a director?" And I thought, yeah, why not? I get to go out, instead of sitting in the room and trying to like reverse engineer what whoever was shooting gave me. I get to go out there and create it in the field, and I get to go like make sure that that guy who's sitting there, now that I've been on the back end of that and gotten like shoots where it was like, you really, this was the shoot, I can make sure that I give the editor everything he needs to make the piece great. And I get to design that. I get to like go out there and figure it out. And that to me was exciting. And challenging and rewarding. And I've been doing it ever since. I've done that since like, I think my first shoot was like 2002 or 2003. And, you know, it's grown and grown and grown. And, you know, like anything, you get known for it, and then some guys leave or they do other things, and you get, you know, and pretty soon. And right now I'm like the guy that people go to do this stuff. If it's complicated, if it's a big shoot and there's a lot of moving parts and stuff, they usually come to me. So I get to figure all of that out and figure out how to best tell the story so that when it gets back into the edit bay, the guy can cut it and make a story out of it easily, like it makes sense to them. And there's, you know, so that's what I get to do. And I tell people all the time, and you know, that's what I like to do, but nobody else would like to do that. Why would you want to do that? It's like, and your butt's on the line. If you don't come back with something good, it's like, you know, it only takes one bad story, one bad job out there, and they're like, well, I'll just get somebody who'll do the job better. You know, so you always want to be on the top of your game when you're doing it. It's a big challenge. I love doing it, and it happens to pay money now. You know what I mean? It's like, it's something I would do for free. I always say that, just do what you love, because if you're doing what you love for a living in your hobbies and your free time, you're going to live a much happier life. You're going to be much better off. So, you know, that's my lecture. Here ends the lecture. Here ends the lesson. Who said that? Kevin Costner said that in... Or no, it was Kevin Costner in The Untouchables. Here endeth the lesson. Maybe it was Sean Connery. I don't know. Somebody else figure it out. Hipster Cow says there will probably be a couple of tungstens floating around. That one Zeos has been hyping for over a year now. Okay. Well, we'll check that out for sure. Dominic Green, got to get some. By the way, Joel, thank you so much for the $5, buddy. Cheers to you. Appreciate it. I don't ask for any of that stuff. I always appreciate it. You bought me a 6-pack of Coke. Thank you. Always appreciate it. Dominic Green, where we at? Dominic Green says, joined just after the grind of a day. Have you listened to the Rich Men North of Richmond track from Over Anthony track? Thoughts if you've listened? No, I have not. It's on my list though. I was talking earlier, Dominic, I haven't had much listening time this week. It's been very busy with the work end of it, which is how we got off on the whole work end of it. Talking about jobs and careers and stuff. It's just been busy this week, and I got to devote time to what pays the bills. The Hipster Cow, there should be one. There was one at London. Good to know. Sorry, guys, burping. Audio Fool says definitely want to try the tungsten at CanJam. So the tungsten, is that the hot thing? Is that where we're all going to be? Is that where we're going to meet? We're going to meet in the bar next to the tungsten exhibit? That's awesome. Ken Workshop, 100% feel the same way about your day job. It's good to have day jobs that are different from hobbies. Yeah, and I have a lot of interest, as you guys know, just watching this show. Like, I can talk about anything. I'm passionate about, I like cooking. I like to grill. I'm a big grill guy. I like doing it. I like tearing stuff apart and figuring out electronics. Ken is a good example because Ken, does amazing stuff on his own, just out of curiosity. I wonder how this works, and I want to, if I put this component in, is it going to make it sound better than when I had that component? What does this sound like, and how can I make this work, and how does this all, I'm fascinated by that stuff. I don't have time to devote to it like I wish I did, but Ken's like a master at it. I'm dying to hear some of his stuff someday. I hope he gets the chance to send it our way to just check out and marvel over what he's been doing. Because I'm sure it's impressive. It's just people who are that passionate do impressive things always. And that's the best thing. I love passionate people. Ryan Dietz says, Mimic Audio will have some. Not sure if anyone else will yet. We're talking about the tungsten. Keep an eye out. Thanks for letting me know. Hoping it's great, Ryan. Hey, made it, Nephilim. Nephilim, cheers, buddy. Always good to see you here. It's a good one. It's a good one. Thank you for the kind words. Tungsten Envy might be a match made in heaven. Audio full. Haven't tried it yet, but it should be. Man, oh man, you guys are going down the rabbit hole on the tungsten. You're gonna make me want to pull out the laptop and look at some photos of it. But I'm gonna resist for that for now. 3:56, 4 o'clock. We're coming up on an hour. I will do a little bit more here if you guys have more you want to talk about. Going in advance of CanJam, in advance of whatever is going on at Audeze. I meant to write because I'm going through right now. Taxes in California were delayed, so I've been going through and getting that ready now because they didn't have to do it by April. They gave us an extension, a natural extension for the whole state until October. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that because we were moving back then, and so I'm going through it, and I found some correspondence I had with Audeze, and I'm like, oh man, I should actually write them and just see if I can get some insight as to what might be happening. Are we still going to get, just some basics that haven't been answered yet? Are we still going to get audiophile releases from them? Are they still planning audiophile releases and maybe they're the ones to watch as we head into CanJam. Will they be? Will they have? What will their presence look like at CanJam? Isn't that going to be the place everybody wants to go again? It seems like Audeze always makes big waves at CanJam SoCal. 2 years ago it was the LCD5 and Carbon double whammy. The 1-2 punch. It was so spectacular. And it just seems like every year they have something major to contribute. There's always something interesting going on over at Audeze. And maybe that's what we're all going to be doing. We're all going to be knocking on Audeze's door going, so about that audiophile situation, you guys going to still be, bringing it? Or are we going to get are we in a wave of PlayStation cans for a while? Things we want to know. Very, very interesting stuff. It reminds me, I want to copy this. Dominic, just for you, I'm going to copy that. What I do as we go along sometimes is and we're talking, is I'll copy some stuff out of chat and put it in a notepad for me so that I know to go back and listen to stuff. I always like to do that because the stuff that you guys recommend, I like to actually follow up on it because it's interesting. You guys give good recommendations, so I want to make sure that I'm following up on that stuff so we can have common ground to share. Very interesting stuff, man. Very interesting. I've seen some new albums coming out. Now, last week I told you about the White Stripes thing, and they're going to have a reel-to-reel release. But I got an email from somebody. Was it Acoustic Sounds? No, I think there's some new runs coming from Mobile Fidelity, which, as you know, I'm like not jumping into the Mobile Fidelity camp again anytime soon. What was acoustic? Okay, Acoustic Sounds had the White Stripes Elephant. They're going to release that. I don't know. I thought I saw something new that was coming from them, but I don't remember what. Ah, so confusing. So great. Man. It's making me think about that turntable more and more, though, about how I got to get that turntable up and running. I mean, it's out and like everything's sort of 90% there. Got to do some tweaking on it and got to get it all balanced out again because I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's got knocked around in the move, but it should be relatively ready to go. But I got to get albums out to play. I just don't have any records at the ready. I even set up a little cleaning station. This room is really cool. It's you know, it's still got a little bit of boom to it that we're going to clear up with some more sound baffling down the road. But directly over there is like a sink and it's like a bathroom kind of sink thing because this is kind of a bedroom arrangement at some point. So there's a sink, and what I've set up over there is my VPI record cleaner on the sink countertop. So it's like all the fluids, you can like do your fluids and you just drain them and it's going to drain right out into the sink. It's going to be fabulous once it's up and running. But I have the record cleaner out. It's like, oh, so ready to go with this. I just got to get the rest of it organized. But there's things to do. I got things to do around here. It's a lot to consider. It's hard being me. Really? Okay. Howdy, gents. Richard Spector. Glad to have you stopping by, Richard. Cheers. Nephilim decided to do one more audio tweak. Famous last words. Yeah, by upgrading the LPs for the Bathys Orium, the stock power supply unit on it. God, the components are small. Orium deserves better. So you're going to put a new power supply on that sucker? That's what you're going to do, huh? Oh, UPS, I think you meant Universal Power Supply. Yeah, that's it's LPs. Get some records to spin on your Bathys Orium. You know, can always do that stuff, but you know, they designed it that way, and it sounds pretty good as is. So you know, you might clear it up, but you never know. Jazzman is cool. Jazzman, that's me. Carl LaFon. Hey, Carl. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I don't recognize your name. What we do, Carl, around here is everybody who stops by, we raise a glass to, and we say cheers because it's a little happy hour tradition here at the Director's Garage. So everywhere across the world, across the internets, folks are raising a glass to you right now because you stopped by. See that? Make you feel good. That's what it's about, man. Yeah, and I'm huge into jazz, and we were talking about Thelonious earlier. He's my favorite jazz pianist, along with guys like Art Tatum and, gosh, just so many good ones. Just phenomenal. But Thelonious is my guy. Richard Spector says, just purchased Hi-Fi Rose RS-130 streamer only. Amazing piece of tech. That screen is enough to make you want to do it. The screen alone on that thing is so gorgeous. You guys know what this is? Have you guys seen this? If you haven't, I'll give you a little lesson in it. Hang on, we'll go over to the laptop real quick. The Hi-Fi Rose RS-130. Here you go. It's $5,000. Now here's the cool thing on this thing, right? This entire thing is a touchscreen display. The entire front of the unit, and it's a streamer. It's a streamer, boys. So, and it does all kinds of things. It does all the things from the front panel. This is so tempting for me as a techno geek. There's the back panel. That's cool. You know, it's got typical stuff. This was so tempting for me when I was looking for, you know, but then you got to put a DAC with. You still got to put a DAC with it, I think. Or does this come with a DAC? Is the DAC involved? No. No, you don't get. So you have to still have to decode once you're here. So this is just the streaming box, but it's a thing of beauty. And I've seen this done where, and you can change this. You can make this, have this be meters. You can have this be like the you know, you can do the record, the album artwork, all kinds of shit. This thing is a work of art, and by most accounts, the thing sounds as good as it looks. And it should for $5,000, but whoo, crazy cool. Crazy cool. That's something on on the long-term want list. just because I want to push the buttons. I want to touch the front panel on the thing. So cool, man. So congrats on that, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. Richard Spector, cheers. You're having a good time with that, no question. That's an awesome one. Monk had the coolest name of all time. Thelonious, yep. What are your take on fuses? He tried a few fancy ones, sounded worse to me, opposite of a placebo effect. Ken, I don't put much. If you know me, here's what I say. If these reviewers who insist that fuses and cables and the hardware of it all, power supplies and this and that. Look, I don't doubt that they can have some small effect on whatever it is, but I would also note none of these folks who like swear by it, I swear, have ever been willing to go and do a complete blind taste test where somebody blindfolded them and changed, and you have to identify which is which and get it right more than 60% of the time. Nobody's ever willing to do that because they don't want to go on camera and be wrong, and I don't blame them. It's, you know, especially if you're like a pro, like I don't care. I will be wrong until Tuesday, you know, I will be wrong until the end of time. I don't care if I look like a jackass because this isn't my deal. This is like, I do this for fun because I like hanging out with you guys, and I love listening to this stuff and telling you my thoughts on it and hearing your thoughts on it, and you're crazy and you're totally off and this and that. It's all good. I love the discussion. I would do a blind taste test and I wouldn't care whatever the outcome is, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think I can hear the difference. Here is a stock Audeze cable. Here is a $2,500 Kimber Cable Axios cable. It's a God cable. 16 by 16 down to 8. This is righteous. Guys, look at this. Look how many wires it's silver plated. It's like it's blessed by the audio gods. I'm telling you right now, I don't think I could pass a blind. I don't think there's a chance in hell I could pass a blind taste test. I'd get it wrong. I'd get it wrong more than I'm right, or I would get it exactly 50% because I'd be guessing every time. I don't think that in a blind situation most of these guys can pass it. Does it make a difference if you hear it? And now, do I think people are wrong first of all, I love a well-built cable. I think these things are pretty. I think they add to my enjoyment of listening to gear. These things, they feel great. There's a tactileness to them as I tap my water jug. I'm sure they don't hurt the sound. I just don't think that I could tell the difference. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt I could tell the difference. That said, even if you don't want to do the blind thing and you swear that you hear a difference, I'm going to take you at your word, because everybody has different hearing. And I have no problem with somebody wanting to spend $2,500 on a cable. They got the money and they want to do it. Now, by the way, I didn't pay full price for this. I got this used. It was a lot less money. It's like way more than half off. And it was sitting there, and I'm like, I had the money, and I'm like, yeah, I want to, yeah. Because this was the cable that they hooked up the Meze Elite to at CanJam. And I'm like, if I ever have a chance to get that cable, I'm getting that cable. Because I thought it was cool. So, but if you hear a difference, if you say that you hear a difference between the Effect Audio, what is it? You know, Effect Audio has all those amazing cables, like they're jewelry, and I have one of them. I have the Octa. If you say that the Leonidas 2 sounds colder than the Horos, okay, I'm not going to. I don't think I could tell the difference, to be fair, but if you hear the difference, then you hear the difference. That's fine. But my feeling is fuses, things like that. Look, you're either getting power or you're not getting power. Cleaner power is probably going to be better overall. Sure, you know, if you like want to filter the power and make sure there's not a lot of, you know, jaggeds or noise in the wave. But at the same time, a lot of these new amps and new products are just using the AC off the wall to charge a battery, because the whole internal of the thing is DC. Not always the case. Certainly the Woo Audio is an example. But, like, you know, look at my cord gear. It's all battery. You know, it's being driven off battery. It's just the power's there to charge the batteries. Power's not going to make a difference. But, you know, it shouldn't in theory. But if you hear it, then you hear it, and fine. That's fine with me. Personally, I think that's, you know, no. I'm like, you can't tell me that a $2,500 fuse is going to sound it. And here's who was I talking to? I was talking to some pro. I think it was the J-Quarter guy, the guy who did that deck. And I was talking to him, and they had some expert, and they said, oh, it was a Monster Cable guy. The Monster Cable guy said, look, are you willing to put your Monster Cable, which is, you know, fancy, you know, they overcharge too. It's like, you know, nice thick cable, whatever, but not like super high end. They're not like they're not like these guys, the Axios folks, Kimber cable. They said, would you put your Monster Cable up against my custom cable in a blindfold test? They said, absolutely. They said, in fact, we'll do a whole room. We'll get a whole room full of people at this show, and you can put your cable up against our Monster Cable. So I said, great. So they go to the show, and the Monster Cable guy does his demo in the audience, and the guy says, okay, now I'm going to put my cable in. And I'm not sure how they did it. The guy was just telling me, you know, just relaying the story. And he said, so we put our custom cable in, and the Monster people saw what we were doing. Had they known, they probably would have turned it down flat and said, you know, God, get out of here. This is, you're being you're being a shithead, for lack of a better word. And they played it back, and the audience that was there swore that they had better clarity, and it was they enjoyed the sound of the custom cable more than the Monster Cable. And the guys who gave them the custom cable was actually a wire hanger, 2 wire hangers. They just undid a wire hanger, you know, like you got in your closet, stretched them out, and put them between the binding posts. And the people thought the majority of people thought that the wire coat hanger sounded better than the Monster Cable. That's just telling you, like, very few people are willing to go through that, because it's a little embarrassing, you know. It's like, especially if you do it for a living. Like, I don't do this for a living, so I don't care, you know. People can call me an idiot. I call myself an idiot. JTB is a big fan of Adrian Monk. I'm a big fan of Art Monk. You remember the wide receiver from the from the Redskins back in the 80s? That guy could catch, man. He could catch and run. He could do it all. He was a triple threat. Went to the Super Bowl with Joe Theismann. Part of that team. Watch the Redskins. They don't even exist anymore. Nephilim81, if he had an Orium with UPS he built using the Kevin Gilmore DRLV design, made a bit of an improvement, but not as much as it did on other devices. Yeah, and like I said, I believe anything, you know, if you hear it, then it's real. I just don't think I could hear it. I don't think I could pass a blind taste test. Maybe I'd be surprised. Maybe I would be able to. I mean, I got pretty good ears. Somebody once said. I've been making a living with my ears for a long time. I don't make a living doing this stuff, the audio reviews, but My ears are kind of important to what I do, oddly enough. Ken Workshop, appreciate your thoughts. Honestly, increments of improvement are all he's hoping for. Also, efficiency of current delivery. Hoping the unit will run less hot. Just experimenting. Hey, experimenting is part of the fun of the hobby, man. There's nothing wrong with a good experiment. Fiber is in on the RS-130. Sound is pure. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Arthur Haywood, his father wanted to name him Thelonious, but his mother squashed that real quick. Thelonious Haywood. I like it, man. That is like, you are proper. You are proper. You can get in. You could get in anywhere where they require like like those restaurants where there's a jacket require. Hello, Thelonious Haywood. No, that's my worst. Don't make me do a British accent, guys. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's too great, man. But Arthur, that's awesome, man. What a great story. That's a great little tidbit. I love that. The only time he's heard a difference was with the Burson supercharger power supply. Yeah, and I think that I possibly heard a difference with the Ferrum Hypsos thing. I guess there's a bit of a difference. I don't know. And look at me, I'm going after a clock for I want the word clock for the DCS. That's one of the things that, once I have money again, is on my list. It's just I don't have money now. Can't get it. Nephilim says his AC regenerator is no joke. He could blind test that system with or without it. I believe it. And like I said, I think if you hear it, then I believe you. I have no reason to doubt you, and I would never I just don't think I can hear it. It would take a lot. Clean power has been the biggest sonic improvement he's experienced. Definitely not the cables or power conditioners. Yeah, and by the way, that's not to say I don't have any here. I have a bunch of what are these things? I don't know the name of them. They come from they're pretty generic, but they do power conditioning and stuff. And I have this I have this snake oil thing I bought years ago, and it's in my system. And I'm sure it's snake oil. I'm positive. But this guy isolated some frequencies, and he was listening to noise in the AC signal, and then he plugged this box in, and the noise was gone. And he said, "Do you think that doesn't make a difference, cleaning that out of your system?" And I'm like, "Okay." I bought one. It was like $60 or something. But it doesn't make a difference. I don't know. I doubt it. But I put it on my chain put it in the chain with the tube amps, because the tube amps, I got to think that buzz is going to affect a tube in the AC. I don't know. Ken Workshop, don't sell yourself short. I bet your ears are really well trained and would hear some differences. I don't know. I don't know if there is or not. The trick is avoiding all the snake oil that's out there. Yeah, by the way, there's a great, if you're on Facebook at all, if you're on Facebook, go to the directors. I should do this. I never plug myself. I'm going to plug myself right now. If you're on Facebook, go to, we have a Director's Garage page you can subscribe to. I don't post there a lot, but it is a way to get in touch with me. You can always write the show. So you can do that. But there is a great Facebook page called, sorry, I'm going to swear, Audio Bullshit. It's the name of there's a group. It's a group on Facebook called Audio Bullshit. And those guys put up some of the funniest crap you've ever seen. The memes are hysterical. They talk about people who pay, $100 for this little wooden tee that will lift your cable this far off the ground. There's a sucker born every minute. It's got to stay off the floor because, God, I don't know, boys. I don't know. Hysterical. But they post all kinds of stuff like that, stuff that people swear will make a big difference. And, it's clear eye-rolling meme situation. It's awesome. But thanks, Ken, for the kind words. I like to think that I have good hearing, and that I can, I also think that one thing that I do have is the ability to communicate with words what I'm hearing. And I can do it in a different way, or in a way that people can find relatable. And I think that's been sort of, you know, like in addition to just the fun of this show, because I do so many stupid things, and like, why not, because I can, kind of things. I think that's one of the things that people appreciate when I do a review on something. It's because I can put into words what other people hear. And I get a lot of people who write me and say, yeah, I really understand what you're talking about when you say this sounded bright to you, or there was too much, or there wasn't like a sparkle on the top of the treble. That's one of the things I say, you know, like there's like this gliss that some headphones put. It's like a little polishing thing. The Atrium is excellent at it. It's like this little gliss on top of the treble that things just have a special extra little ring up top. Like there's just not in a resonance way, but it just sparkles up there a little bit. Like you hear something that's a little extra special that a headphone like the Atrium, we talk about Caldera with the sparkle on top, the Atrium does not. The Atrium is more like rounded and dark on top. It rolls off on top, and that's actually cool in its own way, because it has listening situations where that's great, and I appreciate that about the Atrium. But it's like, if you told me that there was like no spark, if there was a sparkle on the Atrium, I'd tell you you're crazy. To my ears, I don't hear it. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little throaty. Oh, I gotta check work real quick, make sure nobody's been trying to contact me. Nope, nobody has. I'm a free man. That's awesome. I think that's one of the things that I do, is I'm able to like talk about things. When I talk about slam, I don't just say, well, it's got slam. I describe it, and to me it's that feeling like there's a concussive effect happening on the very back of your skull. That to me is slam. That's what I describe as slam. And like when I hear it, it's like it's unmistakable that this headphone has tremendous slam. A headphone like the LCD4, like when you get to a song that's got some bass, there's a concussive effect on the back of your head that this headphone has. It's almost physical. It feels like it's shaking you a little bit in the back of the head, and that is a hypnotic feeling, and I love headphones that do that. So I try and talk about things in terms of ways that you guys will understand it, so that we're having a conversation in relatable terms. That I think I can do. That's something that I think I actually do in a reasonable way. And I just have a lot of fun on the show, and that's been it. You know what I mean? Cable lifters shoot me now. Nephilim. That's what I mean, man. That's what I mean. Dig your workshop of a mind. Yeah, that's the thing. And Ken, a couple weeks ago, I don't have the photos up and ready. I can't show them to you, but Ken sent us a couple of things. Ken works on designs. You know, as a hobby, he's been building his own products, his own amps. I think that's so cool, because that's passionate, man. That's passionate, man. But that's why we connect here. I think that's why this show works. It's because we're all into it in our own way, and we bring it all, into one place, and we can kind of share these ideas. It's so fun. Tommy V, cheers, Tommy V. You have reached 5,000. Keep it coming. Yeah. I'm a little late on this week's episode. I was planning on having it earlier in the week. Just got kind of bogged down with work. It's about half cut, so maybe by Friday if we're lucky. If not, early next week. I want to get to this thing where I'm doing a show every week. But I got to do the I got to do the whole work thing. Got to keep the money coming in to pay for this shit. Amen on power supplies making a difference. He bought a Plixer power supply for his FiO. He knows overkill The sound change was immediate and unmistakable, and I buy that. I think that's great. I do it more out of like just kind of logic and safety, like, and especially with my tube gear. I've got a tube pre down here that I use for a compressor for this mic. And there's a little tube inside there. It's like anytime there's a tube involved, I try to put something in the power line because the tubes do pick up everything and they amplify everything. If you've got crap, it's like it'll amplify crap. So, yeah, I do try to put some sort of conditioning in that. But yeah, we are, by the way, guys who are coming in late, yeah, we got to 5K last week. It was just a total surprise. I had no idea. And somebody said, hey, you're at 5K. I'm like, oh, really? I haven't been looking. And then I got this thing back there that's like a little thing, and it does my YouTube count on that little display back there that's kind of fuzzy, and you'll see a Pac-Man going across there because it does different things. Now it says Director's Garage, but it goes with my YouTube count, but it only increments by the thousands. So for little guys like me, it's like you wait forever for the thing to roll over. But I went to 5,000. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I'd like to do. I'm going to probably do some sort of giveaway of some. I've got some odds and ends and some extra IEMs that are hanging around that I can probably get rid of. I'll see what I can put together. I can't afford to give away as much as I used to. I had one giveaway where I gave away 9 things. And actually, the cost of the headphones wasn't bad. It's the shipping. It was like, because I wound up like people who won, because I do a random drawing of this stuff. There's one person won from like further than Singapore. It was like way out in the middle of nowhere. Like in like rural Asia, so I can't. And it like cost me hundreds of dollars to ship a pair of IEMs out there. Like, oh god, I did not think this through, boys. So I got to be a little more careful about it. But yeah, we'll do a giveaway again. I'm gonna just want to hand out some stuff to you guys for hanging out and watching and. Being a part of this thing. It's fun to do. I hope the day comes when the show gets to be a little self-sustaining, because it would be really fun to be able to just give shit away like they do on some of these other the big channels, not in the audiophile world, but like you see guys like I'm a huge fan. I like cars and racing and stuff, so I watch those guys, and like Cletus McFarland will give away like a car every month. He's got 3 million subscribers. He's doing real well. He's paying them all the bills and then some. Built a racetrack down in Florida, just based on his YouTube subscribers and views. So I'm hoping that this show, like, people are laugh enough at it and laugh enough at what we're doing to have a good time with it. And eventually we get up there to the point where I can just give away, like, I'd love to just do a giveaway of, I had Linsol donated some stuff a couple times. That was kind of fun. But to where I can give away stuff and that we just buy, like I just go out and buy a headphone and give it away. It would be fun. I would love to do that because it makes people's day. It like spreads the love. It's a lot of good time. So that's what we're going to do. All right, guys, 4:28. We're about on the air for 90 full minutes. Goodness me. And I'm running out of gas. I got to go cook. I'm going to go barbecue. That's what we're going to do. Let's go through the last couple. Thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, do all the things, people. Look at the Director's Garage sale down below. I've got some stuff in there. Email me at... Get the bad effect again. Here we go. Woo, look at that. Look at that. directorsgarage@gmail.com. You can email me at that address if you are interested in anything down there, or send me a copy of whatever your setup is. You got the new Hi-Fi Rose? Show me it. Put something cool on the display, put it with your headphone, and take a photo of it. Send it over, and we'll share it on the live stream. I won't give away, where you're living or anything, so nobody goes robs you. Art Monk just subscribed. See, he's got to be like 60 something now. Guy could run. Ken Workshop, thanks. Building cables this week. At least the only snake oil is his tin-plated copper oil wire. Hey, I don't care. Guitar folks swear by it. Fine by me. Go for it. And Dooland wire. Awesome. And I'd be, if it's a cool looking wire, I'm sucker because I like bling. A cable that's like this, and it's like, oh man, it's just so, it's just, there's a heft to it. It's so great. I'm in. I'll buy it. I don't care. The Norne guys, the guy at Norne, I really love his stuff, and it's very reasonable. So I go check out Norne. I don't have any coupon code for that. It's just what we're doing. All right, guys. So thanks for stopping by this week. I'll have a new episode sooner or later. I am sorry I'm behind, but I'm doing the best I can, and I want to do it without burning out so I can keep doing this for a long time. And part of that is, you know, you got to have some of that mental health days too, or you just like taking care of yourself, because it's a lot. It's a lot if you're just grinding out shows. And then I want to keep this fun and make it enjoyable and keep you guys engaged too. But I really love the live stream. This is the most fun I have. I just wish it was more interactive and I could get you guys, you know, I wish I could get you like live or something. Maybe we'll figure that out where I can have like, I have JTB or Nephilim like also stream in or something. I got to figure out how to do that logistically. That might be fun. And do a dual live stream or something where we're just having a conversation. That'd be cool. We'll figure that out though. In the meantime, go listen to some stuff. I'm going to go watch an Art Monk. We've got our Art Monk. Damn it, JTB. Look what you did to me. I'm going to go watch the Thelonious Monk documentary, and I'm going to go check it out over Anthony. We're going to go check that out tonight, too. That'll be good. That'll be something to do. All right, guys. Until then, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to say I will see you guys. Oh, and thank you again. Who was it? Joel Johansson. Joel Johansson, thanks again for the $5, sir. Just thumbs up to you, dude. Cheers, and I'll see you guys before you know it. All right, got to get out of here.